I'm finally done. Just left a minute ago. I should be home by 11-ish.
Thank God. I thought they were going to keep you there all night, Liam. Sorry, but I'm already in bed and Oliver is as well, so please be quiet when you're coming in.
Really? You're in bed already? It's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Oliver's preschool is having a little event tomorrow, and I have to be up early because I signed up to bring something, so I have to get up to make it first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's nice. It must be just swell to live such an easy life, Scarlett. No overtime to eat up your evenings, no work responsibilities to weigh on your shoulders. I'm jealous. I'd trade places if I could.
It's not that there's no overtime. I just have Oliver to take care of, so I can't do any. I told everyone at the office that that was the reason I can't stay late. I'm self-conscious about being the only one to leave right at 5. It's not as easy as you might imagine. And by trading places, that would mean you would be in charge of Oliver. I'm not sure that would really be your cup of tea, Liam.
Oh, are you going to tell me that looking after Oliver is comparable to the work I do? I bet the reality is you're just sitting at home playing with that brat. If that's not easy, I don't know what is.
Liam, please. The name-calling is uncalled for. Oliver is our child. You can't talk about him like that. I know you might be frustrated with working so late, but don't take it out on others.
It's not like he cares, so I don't see anything wrong with it. I'll kick the habit when he gets older. But just look at his behavior now. He's a little snot. Forget it. I'm not arguing over this. How about you go do something productive and fix me something to eat for when I get back?
What? Did they not let you eat anything until you got off?
No, it's not that. I already ate once, but I'm still hungry. It's probably the alcohol talking, but I'm craving something greasy to sober me up a bit before bed.
Okay. Sure, you might have something. Let me think. Oh, there should still be some fries left in the fridge. You can microwave them.
Fries. Is that really all there is? Is there a reason you can't make something? Why do I have to do everything? What's the point of keeping the fridge so full if you're not going to make me something when I want it?
I mean, I just told you why I can't. We're already in bed. If I try to get up and go to the kitchen, I'm sure I'll wake up Oliver. Do you know how hard it is to get that boy to bed? Don't ask me to do it twice.
Quit the crap, woman. I'm not in a joking mood. What you're basically telling me right now is that you can't be bothered to feed your exhausted husband who's been worked half to death. Don't you think you could do the bare minimum here, Scarlett?
I've already done more than the bare minimum, Liam. The food has been cooked. It just needs to be reheated. Leftovers might not be what you want, but it's what we got.
You're right, Scarlett. I don't want your leftovers or even fries in general. Why don't you make me some chili instead? That sounds pretty good right now.
You want me to make chili from scratch? At 11? Are you sure the fries won't do? They should be greasy enough and they won't sit in your stomach when you're getting to bed.
They're fries, Scarlett. They're no good unless they are straight out of the deep fryer. And I can't be eating fries anyhow. Do you want my doctor to get mad at me again for eating that kind of junk?
You were the one asking for greasy foods.
God, you're the worst, Scarlett.
I obviously don't want there to be anything wrong with your health, Liam. And just once in a while is fine. We can't eat like that every day, but we don't. I cook plenty of healthy meals. The fries are actually a good example of that. I didn't deep fry them. If you try them, you'll see what I mean. They were pretty good.
God damn. Do you have to push them on me? You'd think they were poisoned the way you're insisting.
Come on, Liam. That's not fair. It would just be easier than starting something new this late. That would involve chopping everything, then cooking the meal, and then the cleanup after that.
Jesus, just drop it already. I'm not eating your fries. I really don't care how you cook them. I'm disappointed that you are too lazy to prepare something fresh for me.
I've told you, it's not about me being lazy. Remember, Liam, I'm working full-time also. I can't prepare everything you eat every day. And it's not like I don't prepare plenty of fresh meals either.
Scarlett, look. You made a promise to me when we decided to have Oliver. Do you remember? You said that you could balance raising him on top of everything else.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. You haven't had to start doing any chores, have you? Isn't that proof that I'm managing everything just fine?
Me not doing chores is a given, child or no child. Don't try and move the goalposts on me. The problem isn't that.
Okay, well tell me then. You clearly have something to complain about.
Don't try and shift the blame here. Just let me speak without you framing everything to make yourself look innocent. The problem is that from the cooking to the cleaning, everything has taken a turn for the worse recently. I can't help but notice that since Oliver was born, my quality of life has been way down.
Oh, come on. Just be a little forgiving considering the situation, Liam. This is my first time doing any of this. Every day with Oliver is something new, and I'm doing the best I can. And that's with work on top of everything. You had to expect that things wouldn't stay the same, surely.
It's just a child. Stop trying to weasel your way out of this. That's not appropriate behavior for a wife. I mean, it seems like you're just okay with the state of affairs.
Fine, we'll do it your way. If that's what it takes to make you happy, I can do that much. Is that what you want? For me to make some chili for you? How long till you're home?
You know what? Forget the chili. I don't even want it if I have to force you to make it. You should be happy to do it, you know.
I just said that I was willing to do it.
From the start, Scarlett. What counts is that you're willing to do it from the start. I'll just grab something nearby and then head home.
Where are you even going to go this late? You can't get any fast food. That won't be good for you. If my baked French fries are too unhealthy for you, then any amount of fast food should be out of the question too.
It has to be something greasy. That I won't budge on. What else would even be open at this hour? I'm just going to get whatever sounds good to me.
I guess that makes it okay then.
If at my next doctor's visit, I get back bad results, I'm blaming it on you, by the way.
That's not fair, Liam. I can only do so much when you refuse to eat what I cook.
Man, I was really dealt a crappy hand.
Don't tell me you've been gambling too.
Just listen for a minute. My wife makes a pitiful amount of money, and on top of that, she can't even keep the house maintained to my standards. And don't even let me get started on the damn cooking. All I'll say is that if that isn't a bad draw, I don't know what is. The only thing you're good for is looking after our brat.
I told you to stop calling him that. It's so mean-spirited the way you call him names.
If only your parents were rich. But no, you just had to be from a broke single-parent household.
Stop it, Liam. I don't want to hear you speak of Mom like that. Sure, we weren't wealthy, but Mom did the best she could raising me. She did it all by herself while working full-time.
It doesn't matter how hard she worked. She's still poor at the end of the day. Maybe that's why you're able to devour those homemade French fries. You've got such low standards. I bet you hardly had anything proper to eat growing up, so everything you make now tastes great to you. It really makes you feel for the poor in this country.
That's really not something to make light of, Liam. And there's no reason to phrase it so horribly like that. I know you know that Mom is a good cook, so you can just stop pretending otherwise.
You've got a lot of nerve to be scolding me like this, Scarlett. In fact, your treatment of me is arguably worse than anything I've done. You can't even bother to wait up for your hardworking husband to get home from working overtime. The least you could do is be there for me with something cold to drink for when I get home.
I got it. You don't have to keep telling me. I didn't know this would upset you so much. Will you let me know when you're at the front door?
I can't imagine why I would have to.
I don't want you to make a lot of noise.
Are you ordering me around, Scarlett? The heck do you mean, don't make a lot of noise?
I've told you countless times before why. When you come crashing through the front door, you wake up Oliver.
Oh, you think I'm accidentally waking him up? No, you've got it all wrong. I'm waking him on purpose, as is my right. I'm not going to be sneaking around my own house like some kind of damn burglar.
He needs his sleep, Liam. Why would you be intentionally waking him?
When the father who pays all the bills and puts the food on the table is finally home, shouldn't the son be the one who comes running to greet him? It's the least he can do since he's not worth anything else.
He's 2, Liam. And if you really want him to do that when he gets older, maybe you should try treating him better now. At any rate, children his age only eat and sleep. That's just their natural state. And that's all anyone ever expects from them. So all you're doing by waking him is getting me to put him back to bed again. You're just creating a lot of work for me. And needlessly interrupting his sleep.
Whatever extra work there may be, it still sounds like a you problem. As for Oliver, those who don't work won't eat. That's the law of the land in our household. If he doesn't at least come and greet me when I get home, I'm done contributing any money toward raising him.
You must be drunk to say such stupid things.
I only had a few beers. I'm not drunk.
Then those are your honest, sober-minded thoughts? Liam, we both work to support this family. You'd be forcing me to pay for everything to raise Oliver? Why would you refuse to help me here?
I'm the one who's working. And by that, I mean doing real work, not that nonsense that you call work. It wouldn't be fair for me to bear the burden of paying for Oliver. But I'm not interested in yet another digression. I'm turning my phone off. It'll be a while till I'm back, but do wait up for me. In fact, make sure you're awake when I walk through that door.
Are you going to be late again today, Liam?
Why? Do you need me for something?
Yeah, there's something we need to talk about.
Can that something not be discussed via text? I really don't want to have to hear you complain after a long day at work.
No, it's not a complaint or anything like that.
Then what is it? What else could it even be?
It's pretty serious, I'm afraid.
Don't beat around the bushes, Scarlett. Spit it out already.
I'd rather we have this conversation in person, but fine, if you insist, I'll tell you. The medical results came back and they found something.
Oh, crap. Did they really? They must have been pretty quick to have mine back already.
No, it wasn't your results, it was mine.
Oh, Jesus. Don't scare me like that, Scarlett. It was only yours that they found something wrong with. Would it kill you to add a little more clarity when communicating with me?
It doesn't matter who the problem is with. You should be worried that they found something regardless. This could bring some pretty serious changes to our house, Liam. Do you not care? Nothing? Your wife could be infected with some horrible terminal illness, you know.
It's not that I don't care. It's just that, either way, we won't know anything until they run some more tests. There's no point in panicking now. It could all be a big nothing burger.
Yeah, sure, it could just be a glitch in their system or whatever. But in all likelihood, it'll probably be something we'll have to deal with. We can't just plan around the possibility that there was some mistake on the doctor's end.
Wait, don't tell me. Is this what I think it is? Did you text me because you wanted me to be worried for you? That's so funny.
What about this could possibly be funny? And to your question, no, it's not me that I want you to be worried about. It's your son, Oliver.
Oliver? Is there something wrong with him too? If not, why should I be worried about him?
Because anything that happens to me will affect him. Especially if it results in me being hospitalized. In that case, you will have to look after him, Liam.
What? They told you that there's a chance you'll have to stay in the hospital? Even if that was the case, why would he become my problem? Your mother is free, isn't she? Wouldn't taking care of Oliver simply become her problem?
I'll ask her to help a bit, of course, but she can't just drop everything and be with Oliver 24/7. And it wouldn't be fair to offload him on her like that. What's more, you're his father, aren't you? Maybe it's time to start acting the part. If I'm unable to look after Oliver, you will have to help me. It's really the least you could do, Liam.
I'm pretty sure I made it clear that I wasn't interested in helping when it comes to Oliver. It was your decision to have him. That means whatever happens at the end of the day, he is your responsibility.
You know full well how babies are made, Liam. I didn't go and make him all by myself, did I? You didn't have any problem working with me to make him, did you?
That kind of logic is creepy, Scarlett. It was after the fact that you started talking about what we would do. You were being unbelievably annoying about it, so I just gave up arguing against you.
Stop with the calling everything annoying! It's such a childish way to talk.
Anyhow, when you hear more, tell me.
I will, of course. But we're not done talking about Oliver, okay? Don't think you're absolved of all responsibility here.
Nah, you might not be done, but I am. I'm not going to even bother replying if I see his name again.
So is that it? Are you not going to ask what they found? What might be wrong?
I'm not a doctor, Scarlett. What good would it do to ask? There's no good in asking if I won't understand the explanation.
That's not the only reason someone would ask. It's not like I'm itching to rattle off medical jargon to you.
Oh, I'll just get out in front of this and say, that in particular isn't going to work with me.
And by that, you mean?
I mean that I'm not going to bend over backwards to help you just because you're a little sick. And don't even dream of bedside care. Make a plan yourself about what you're going to have to do.
Liam, are you not part of our family? The way you cast off your obligations toward everyone else really makes it seem like you aren't. If I end up really sick, who will be there for me if not you?
Like I said, your mother's not busy.
Yeah, I do have Mom. But by our family, I mean you, me, and Oliver.
You reap what you sow, Scarlett.
How does that even apply here?
Whatever is wrong, you let it fester until it was picked up by the doctors. That makes it your fault. It's your body, take care of it yourself. Maybe if you had just done that from the start, this wouldn't have happened. Oh, and I won't let it be a reason for you to slack off on the housework and looking after Oliver.
Liam, where are you right now? Please, pick up!
So annoying. I can go wherever I want, Scarlett. I don't like you implying otherwise.
I didn't even say anything. I just wanted to know where you were.
I already know what you're going to say, so go ahead. What's wrong that you have to pester me like this?
A lot's wrong, Liam. I'm at my wit's end and you're just making things worse. Mom just called and said that you came and dropped off Oliver with her.
Yeah, I did. It's not my job to change diapers. I shouldn't have to tell you this. I think I've made myself perfectly clear, Scarlett.
What the hell, Liam? You can't just offload him on someone else.
It's not just any random person. I thought we agreed that your mother would be the one to look after Oliver. And it's because you've abandoned the house and Oliver to stay at the hospital that I had to do it. So that's that. I left Oliver with her. It's not fair for you to be the only one having fun.
Maybe you should choose your words more carefully. I'm not here because I want to be, and this certainly isn't fun. I'm having surgery this week, for Christ's sake.
Surgery. You're such a drama queen. There's no need to blow this out of proportion. I mean, 3 weeks for such a minor procedure. The whole situation is ridiculous.
It is what it is. I'm just doing what the doctor told me to. Why can't you do anything to help me out here? I hardly ever ask anything of you.
I think you're underselling all that I have been doing, though. While you've been there, I've been taking Oliver to and from daycare. And I've been paying for his portion of the food. That seems like doing a lot to me, but apparently not. Well, what more do you want from me?
Seeing him off to daycare and picking him up is impossible for me right now. And I tried to make as much food as I could to freeze before I left, didn't I? Included in that should be some of that curry that you like. Did you see it in the freezer? I'm pretty sure I labeled everything so you could find it.
Oh, that? I've barely touched it, honestly. Just throw it away when you get out of the hospital. It'll probably be bad by then.
Throw it out? You're not going to eat any of it?
Everything you prepared is such a pain to fix. 20 minutes in the oven at 350. It's seasoned. All you have to do is cook it. Even the curry had to be thrown in a pot and reheated. It was all too much work for me. I mean, I might as well make it from scratch if I'm going to go through all the effort.
It's not like anything I left was particularly demanding. And I think we both know you weren't going to cook anything yourself.
You think I do even that much? Why do I have to come home and cook after working so hard?
Welcome to my world, Liam. That's what I've been doing up until now. It's only been 3 days. Surely you can manage more than that.
I think you mean it's been 3 whole days. You know what? Just forget it. I can't be bothered.
I know, it's so much trouble having to deal with me.
It seems the dealer gave me a new hand the other day.
Let's drop the poker metaphors. I don't even know what you mean by that anymore.
I'm at Madison's place right now. She's quite the catch. You might even say she's pocket aces.
Who is Madison?
She works for my company. She's in the same building as me.
Are you saying what I think you are? You're in another girl's house right now?
I am. What about it? Apparently, she's the daughter of a CEO. Some kind of big-time advertising company or something. If you could only see what I was seeing right now. Her condo is sick. It's real fancy with a lobby and everything, and the view from up here is something else. It was bought for her courtesy of her parents.
So, just what are you saying? I'm sure you're not about to say that you're going to be staying there.
Hey, good guess. That is exactly what I'm going to do. In Madison's place, everything is left up to the maids. Things with her should be chill, too, because unlike you, she doesn't want any children.
Hold on, children? You're talking to her about having children? That's basically admitting to cheating!
Cheating? Nah. It just came up while we were talking. Getting to know each other, if you know what I mean. I'm actually serious about this girl.
That's not funny. You can't just tell your wife that you're serious about being with another woman. Who even is she? Have you been seeing this Madison person for a while? How do you know her?
I'm not joking, and I don't really remember. I guess it was around the time that you told me you might have to be hospitalized. You know that housework and childcare are no-goes for me. That's why I prefer Madison.
That has to be a lie. You would really abandon your small child and sick wife so easily?
Abandon is such a harsh way to phrase it. I just found a different place to stay, so I'll be leaving the house to you. I have plenty of cash to pay for child support and whatever else. I don't mind paying if that's all I have to do to be free.
You say that like it's the easiest thing in the world. Almost like you're doing me a favor. If we're getting divorced because of your cheating, then it's only natural for you to pay me.
Who cares how you phrase it? God, you're so nitpicky about my word choices. At the end of the day, I'm saying I'll pay you, so shut up and divorce me.
You don't feel any remorse for what you're doing?
Why do I have to feel bad about this? Isn't that the whole point of me paying you? The money makes you happy, and the freedom I get in exchange for it makes me happy. It wouldn't even be out of the question for you to thank me, is how I feel.
What exactly would I be thanking you for? It's not like that money is charity, Liam. It's money that I would need to raise Oliver.
The way I see it, Scarlett, you should be thankful because this whole situation is all your fault. Be glad I'm leaving you with a place to stay and money to support you and the kid.
How is any of this my fault? At worst, I'm a victim of circumstance here.
If you had only done the few tasks that you had promised to do, it wouldn't have come to this. That makes you the root cause. Everything follows from your negligence.
I didn't want any of this to happen. I just had to get surgery. So you're saying the reason why you cheated was because I got hospitalized?
You can't really blame me. It just so happened that I met the girl of my dreams.
That's just a fancy way of admitting to it. Go ahead and confess. It'll save us some time in court.
I'll say this for the record. She approached me, not the other way around. I guess I'm not so past my prime after all, still being able to be with a younger girl.
Chasing a married man whose wife is in the hospital is messed up. That girl is no good, Liam. And why would the CEO's daughter be working at the company anyways?
Beats me. Maybe she's just trying to get some experience. But honestly, who cares what the reason is? I care that she's rich. That's all. I already packed up all the stuff I'll need. You can throw away whatever else I left behind. And I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table.
Divorce papers? You've already filled them out? I think we should talk this out first after I get out. This is all so strange.
Talk? I don't think there's really anything left to be said. It's best to just get these things over with, you know? That way you're able to start looking for the next guy as well. I mean, I pity the man who has to be the next sacrifice forced to eat your cooking.
What are you saying? You can't just decide everything yourself without talking to me about it. I'm not like you. I'm not just going to run off and look for the next person.
Is that right? I guess you can just do everything yourself then. Have it your way. You can grow old by yourself. If you keep up this rambling, I just might reconsider giving you anything. So keep it up. You know where they are, so make sure the divorce papers make their way to the courthouse for filing. I've done my part. Scarlett, have you mailed the divorce papers yet? You've had plenty of time.
Not yet, but it'll be done soon. I'm ready for it to be over with just as much as you are. I've got my lunch break coming up. I'll do it then.
Great. I was hoping I wasn't too late. I don't want you to send them in.
This was all your idea, Liam. And after what you said, why shouldn't I?
Water under the bridge, Scarlett. Let's just try and start over.
Start over? I think it's a little late for that. I can't imagine what you're thinking after not even bothering to visit me in the hospital once.
Hey, I feel bad about that. I am sorry.
I mean, even now you didn't bother asking me how I'm doing.
Right, of course. I was just so worried that you had already finished the divorce. How are things now? Are you feeling better?
I'm serious. It's too late for that. Do you know how much Mom had to do for me? She did everything looking after Oliver while I couldn't and you were MIA. She even cleaned up the room that you nearly destroyed in the 3 days I was gone.
Like I said, I'm sorry. This is all ancient history, isn't it? We all have done things we regret. Let's just let the past be the past. I don't need the nagging relitigation.
You're right. No point in bringing it back up. After all, I'm done dealing with you altogether.
Come on, don't say things you're going to regret.
Trust me, I won't. And I'm only saying it because you made me. So what happened to that Madison girl? Guess things didn't work out between you two?
Who? Her. She's the worst is what happened.
Oh, wow. Who would have guessed? Not me. On a scale of 1 to you, how bad is she, Liam? It's hard to imagine she's worse than you.
No, I'm being serious here. Listen to this. That damn girl scammed me.
Like, stole your money scammed? Is this the same dream girl who did this?
She's more like a nightmare than anything. I figured I could marry her and then just mooch off of her rich parents. But it turned out that she has already been disowned by them.
Ouch. What good is a CEO's daughter for if she's disowned?
Exactly. You might as well not even mention it if you're not getting daddy's money. So apparently what happened was she got into a lot of trouble when she was a student. And then after one run-in with the police, she got disowned by her parents.
But didn't those same parents buy her a high-rise condo?
The story is that that was to get her out of their house and off their hands. They bought her the place and told her to never come home again.
Damn. That's funny. I mean, terrible for them, but it's funny that all this is happening to you.
It's no laughing matter, Scarlett. She's got a ton of debt on top of that.
Debt? What kind of debt?
It's nothing shady. It's just that her day-to-day spending has her up to her ears in debt. She came to me asking for some insane amount of money, saying it was for living expenses.
So she basically had pegged you for a sucker and approached you for an easy payday?
Yeah, it seems like that's her MO. Anyhow, when I found out, I moved out of her condo. I'm headed back home today. I expect you'll be cooking.
Stop for a minute and realize that the world doesn't revolve around you, Liam. You were the one who decided to leave.
Yeah, and I'm the one deciding to return.
Once these papers are in, you're a stranger to me, Liam. So I'll call the police if you try and trespass on the property you gave me.
The police? Why? There's no need to get them involved.
I'll do what I have to do, and if you're going to break the law, I'll call them. This house is just for the two of us.
But we can just do things over. I realize that you are the only one for me.
Yeah, no. I don't want to hear it. I'm saying I'm not interested in a do-over.
But you can't do it all by yourself, can you? Raising Oliver on a single income, I mean.
Sure. Not on my income alone, I can't. I'll be inheriting enough money to where I should be fine.
Inheriting money from who? Last I checked, your mother isn't dead and she certainly doesn't have much to pass on.
It's money my father left for me.
Father? You don't have a father, Scarlett. You were raised by just your mother, weren't you? You said that your father passed right after you were born.
That was just a lie Mom told me. It turns out he was alive for most of my life. I just didn't know it. He only just passed recently, apparently. In his will, he left me his fortune.
Knowing your mother, this was just some other poor fella. Well, how much is it?
Probably somewhere in the 7 figures.
You mean you're getting millions? Good one. You think anyone would believe that?
That's what I thought as well. After some paperwork, it seems like it's real, though.
Damn. So you're serious then? Who the hell was this father of yours?
I mean, I never knew him, so there's not much I can say. I was told that he was an important person at a prominent Fortune 500 company.
So then, Scarlett was the daughter of a CEO all along?
Well, I don't know if he was the CEO, but in essence, it turns out that I guess I am.
This is so unfair! You can't just have all of it for yourself. Give some to me!
There's no scenario where it's even conceivable that you end up receiving even a penny from me. A deadbeat cheating ex-husband who can't cook, can't clean, and won't look after Oliver certainly doesn't deserve anything.
Yeah, but I'm still your husband. That's gotta count for something.
Not for long, you won't be. I'm standing in front of the courthouse.
Don't go through with it now. Let's try again.
Oh, and don't forget, you'll be paying damages for the divorce as well as child support. You said you would, didn't you?
You still want me to pay? Even though you're about to be multiple times richer than me. Just how greedy are you?
One can never have too much. I have to ensure Oliver has a bright future, after all.
Then you can at least let me have the house. I don't have anywhere else to stay.
If you like this dump so much, you can have it. I'm going to move someplace nicer anyhow. Then it'll be all yours.
Move when?
Who knows? I'll have my lawyer contact you, but there's a lot of paperwork. It might take 1, maybe 2 months, or maybe even longer. I'm sure you understand that the process for these things can take some time.
What am I supposed to do for 1 to 2 months? I can't just wait for you.
Maybe you can find another dream girl to look after you.
Hold on. I got bad news from the doctor as well. I have to cut back on sugar and my sleep schedule is screwed, so they say I have to make some serious lifestyle changes.
Why are you telling me this?
I'm telling you this because it's serious. My life could be on the line here. Just let me stay with you for the time being and cook for me.
Why would I? Why don't you go hire a maid if you want someone to do everything for you? I guess that might be hard with you paying child support and whatnot.
It's not about the money involved.
Sorry, those kinds of things are just a no-go for me.
What kind of things?
You know, helping each other, caring for each other when one is sick. It might be different if we were family, but that's only going to be the case for a few more minutes.
Then who can I have to support me?
You reap what you sow, Liam.
What?
Liam, you left it until the doctors found it. That means it's your fault. Take care of yourself. It's none of my business. Oh, and don't try and leverage it as an excuse to not pay me the child support you'll owe.
You could compromise with me a little bit here. I'm begging you.
What's in it for me? I'm afraid there's just nothing I can do here, Liam. Anything else would be unfair. I know how important being fair is to you.
What could I do to make you reconsider?
Beats me. If you're broken out of ideas, how about you try begging on the street? That might be a humbling experience for you.
I'm sorry. I really regret everything I did. It was my fault. I won't do anything like that again, so let's start over. I want to eat your home-cooked meals again.
Yeah, definitely no.
Why?
You're still treating me like your personal chef even now.
That was just bad phrasing on my part.
I really must have been dealt a cruddy hand.
A cruddy hand?
You hardly make any money, and you can't even take care of yourself. You really are the 2 to 7 offsuit of husbands.
What the hell? I thought we were done with the poker metaphors. I don't even play the damn game.
It's done. I gave them the divorce papers.
You really did it?
This is finally goodbye then. Take care of yourself, Mr. Bad Draw. After I received my father's money, I was able to move out and hire a lawyer. Liam was officially forced by court order to pay me child support. Without many options, he sold the house so he could pay for it. Apparently, he's barely getting by in some tiny closet of an apartment. As a reward for dumping Madison, she exposed him to his company, which landed him in hot water. Meanwhile, in our new place, we have the 3 of us all together. Me, Mom, and Oliver. I was able to find a job with more flexible hours so I could spend more time with Oliver. Mom was a big help in all of this and continues to be. She does more than her fair share around the house, and I'm not sure I could do it without her. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Hey, Mom. Do you have a second? There is something that I would really like to talk to you about if you have a moment. Actually, it's about work. I'm going to be promoted to branch chief of my office. Wait, what? How did this come about? What happened? How did it come about? What do you mean? I thought that you might be a little more happy about this. I mean, I'm only in my 30s and a woman being promoted to this position. No one has ever done that here before. What? And do you think that that is worth coming to brag to me about? Are you serious? What do you want me to do with this information? Are you going to be sending me money then? Is that what you've come to tell me? What? No, Mom, that isn't even what I said. I was just really happy to get this news and thought that you might want to hear about it too. I just thought you would be happy for me. Erin, you know very well that it doesn't really matter to me whether or not you get promoted at work. That kind of business doesn't concern me one bit. Why did you even bother coming to me if this was all you had to say? Mom, please. I'm sorry if this is bothering you, but you don't have to say things like that to me. I just can't believe that I have a daughter who is so absorbed with work that that is all she can ever talk about. When I think about you compared to your sweet little sister, Maeve, I just can't help but be embarrassed for you. But Mom, that's not fair. I work really hard and have always done so my whole life. If you want to talk about working hard, then why don't you do what Maeve did and find a nice man to settle down with? She did. She married a doctor, you know. And now she is my sweet little angel. Unlike you. Well, at least I can feel good knowing that I have one good daughter. Yes, Mom. I know that Maeve has gotten married. For some reason, you think that you have to remind me every single time that we talk. Well, then maybe you should finally realize that I only do so because I want you to learn from her. I mean, Surely there must be a couple of rich men around the office who you could see yourself marrying. No? Mom, if I get married, I don't want it to be just for my husband's money. I want something deeper and more fulfilling than that. Oh, please. We all know that is just an excuse that you give everyone. We both know that you're just too ugly to actually land anybody worthwhile. Honestly, sometimes I really do wonder how a gorgeous woman such as myself was able to give birth to such a little gremlin. I mean, even Maeve took after me and got my looks. I guess they must have just skipped over you. Mom, why do you always have to compare the two of us? Dad never did that. He never tried to make us compete and loved us both equally. Well, no wonder he did. I'm sure your ugly father saw his ugly self in you every time he had to look at your ugly face. Are you being serious right now? You know that Dad wasn't even ugly. Sure, he might not have been a model, but he certainly wasn't ugly. Besides, you were the one that married him in the first place. So what do you think that says about you? And why do you think it's okay to talk about your husband like that in the first place anyway? Erin, the reason that I married your father was because he was one of the senior managers at his firm, which was, at the time, one of the most prosperous in the country. Not only that, but even among his other friends from the company, your father's salary was far and away the largest of them all. Do you really not see any problem with the way that you're describing your marriage to Dad? How can you speak about your own marriage like it was a business deal? Why does it matter to you how I talk about my marriage, huh? Besides, it isn't like the old geezer is around to even hear what I'm saying about him. At least he left with a good life insurance policy. It has made living on my own quite easy now. But even that money is already starting to dry up. Why couldn't that man have sprung for the deluxe plan? At least that way his death would have bought me a little more time not having to work. Mom, didn't you spend most of the money that Dad left you on gambling and slot machines? I can't believe what you're saying in spite of that. I mean, Dad worked so hard all of his life to be able to provide for us. I just can't understand you. That's right. That's another thing you two have in common. You're only good for working and nothing else. So you might as well start working for my sake too if you want to be like your father so much. That was all your father was good for, but at least he saw it as his purpose in life. He never once complained about being the breadwinner. He was more than content to fulfill that role in life. I really don't think that's true. Even up to the day he died, he was always worried that you and Maeve still seemed to not know how to save or spend money wisely. He complained about it quite a bit, actually. What are you talking about, young lady? Neither I nor your sister have any trouble managing our money, I'll have you know. You just don't understand. It's not that the two of us spend a lot of money. It is that the upkeep on being this beautiful just costs a lot more than it does for someone ugly such as you. You just don't know the kind of expenses that get racked up looking this good. Well, sure. I will admit that I never really got into cosmetics or beauty products in general, so I can't really speak to their price, no. Oh, please, dear. It isn't that you never got into them. You really must stop with all of these silly excuses. This is your mother that you are talking to, after all. You wouldn't suit even the nicest brands if you did care to try them on. I seriously doubt that you could make anything look good on you. I mean, your face alone would distract so much from whatever clothes you tried to fit in. People would be too busy staring in horror at your face to even take notice of your outfit. Why do you always have to be so mean to me? I'm your daughter too. Can't you see that you talking like that is just really hurtful? I only reached out to you today because I wanted to share a little bit of good news from my life, and you have to go and ruin it by comparing me to Maeve and making me feel horrible about myself. I got a big promotion at work. Why isn't that enough to be happy for me? What are you talking about? You think that I ought to be proud of you just because you're my daughter? Do you really think that you can get off so easily? Besides,
Why would I be happy about your promotion? Huh? What about it made you think that I would care one way or the other? If you really want to try and make me happy, then come back to me once you're engaged to a doctor or a lawyer or someone who will make us some actual money. Okay? Find a rich man to settle down with and who is going to make sure that we're taken care of, and then maybe I'll change my mind about you. But until that day, you are always going to be my useless other child that I will shudder to mention after bragging about how great Maeve is to everyone. But, Mom, how can you say that I'm useless? Dad died 9 years ago, and every single month since then, I have been sending you money to help you live on your own. And let me guess, you expect me to be grateful to you for that? You really think that I ought to say thank you just for doing your duty to me as the oldest child? Give me a break, Erin. No, Mom. I'm not doing it because I want you to thank me or anything like that. I just didn't think it was fair that you called me useless. You're pathetic, Erin. Just like your father was. He complained about how I never thanked him either. But the fact is that he was making so much money, so of course he should have to share it with me. And the same goes for you. I'm your poor widowed mother, and now you expect me to grovel before you just for a little spending money. I'm sorry, Mom, but you're making it really hard to have any kind of pity for you right now. I mean, you didn't even seem all that upset even after Dad died. More like you were relieved almost. Especially once you realized how much you would be getting from his life insurance policy and the payout from his company. And so what if I was? What business is it of yours how I spent that money? Besides, your father was 10 years older than me. It isn't like we didn't know he was going to be the one who died first. Especially once he started to need in-home nursing. I was just glad that he didn't end up spending too much on that before he left. But I knew that the real reason he hired the nurse was just to please you, since he knew you would be so upset. What do you mean he thought that I would be upset? Well, that's just how he was. He knew how much you were always trying to watch over him and make sure he was taking care of his health like the worrywart you are. So when you suggested to him that he get a live-in nurse, he basically agreed for your sake. Well, I only suggested it because you seemed to have zero interest in making sure that he was taken care of at home after his health started declining, Mom. That kind of work just really doesn't suit me. I didn't marry your dad so that in the future I would have to take care of some doddering old man. I'm sorry, but that is just not for me. Even after all the hard work that Dad put in to make sure that you never wanted for anything. How can you talk about the man that you married like that? I'm sure if he could hear what you are saying right now, that he would be rolling in his grave. Well then, I guess that it is a good thing that he's dead and that neither of us have to worry about him anymore. Mom! Please! How can you say something like that? That's awful! The only awful thing around here is your face, Erin. If you really want to make me happy that badly, then you go and find a rich man willing to settle for someone like you, and you make him yours. You know, I can't even stand looking at you because you look so much like him. And you just remind me of what a disappointment he was. Erin, are you there? I'm just messaging to tell you that I changed my mind and I don't want you to come over today. What? Why not? What happened? Well, your sister messaged me recently and told me that she was coming home to visit soon. She's just such a good girl, isn't she? Always worried about and coming to check up on her mom. Yeah, that's great. Well, I guess that she was worried about me since she knows that I live all alone. Oh, really? Is that what's going on then? Yes, it is. She really is such a sweet girl. Not only does she just have an angelic face, but her heart is just as pure. She really is the perfect daughter. But that still doesn't explain why I can't come over as planned. Because I don't want you getting in the way of me and my perfect daughter catching up with each other. Do you understand? If you were there, it would throw off the whole energy of our reunion and ruin everything. There is something truly harmonious that is achieved when you have two beautiful people together in a room. And that won't happen if you bring your ugliness here with you.
What does that even mean? I have never heard anyone say that ever. Do you genuinely believe that, Mom?
I don't believe it, Erin. I know it. And maybe if you were any prettier, then you would know it too. But you aren't, and you don't.
Well, okay. If you don't want me to come visit, then I will keep away. No problem there.
Thank you. You should have just said that you understand in the first place and not made me waste any more energy responding to you. Besides, whenever you come over, you always start touching and moving things, and it drives me crazy. For example, every time you have been over, I have caught you digging through my fridge and throwing perfectly good food out.
It isn't perfectly good food, Mom. I check through your fridge because you always have so many expired things in there whenever I come over. I just really hope that you are not eating old food like that when I'm not there. You could get really sick, you know? And we aren't talking just a couple days past expiration. I can smell some of the things in there when I open the fridge doors.
Well then, just don't open it. Besides, it is like that because I don't cook for myself anymore. Most days, I just have food delivered here.
But don't you think that eating out all the time might start to add up? How much do you spend in a week on that? And what about cleaning the house? Every time that I've been over, it is just a big mess. I've even stopped by your place on the way back from work just to clean up sometimes.
And who asked you to do that, huh? I never remember asking for any of your help. You really are just like your father. Always doing things that you think are useful around the house, just so that you can try and guilt me into liking you. Well, I didn't like when your dad did it, and I certainly don't like that you're continuing it.
I am just saying that ever since Dad passed away, your house has been a real mess.
You're just being overdramatic. It isn't a mess at all. It just needs to be cleaned a bit more now and then, but it is hardly as bad as you are saying.
Well, if you think so, then I'm glad that that is how you see things. But I'm just trying to suggest that maybe you do some of that cleaning yourself from time to time.
Thank goodness. I am so relieved. And do you want to know why? It is because I will be getting to spend some quality time with my daughter. The one that I love.
Oh, so I'm not even your daughter anymore. Do you even think of us as family at this point, Mom?
Of course I don't. Who even are you again? I forget. Why am I messaging you right now?
Are you being serious right now? I can't believe what I'm reading.
Oh, what's the matter? Did you really think that I thought of us as family? Me and you? No, you are nothing to me. Besides, just think about it. You don't even look like me or your sister. Even if we were all to go out in public, no one would think that you are related to the two of us. I have actually never once even thought of you as my daughter.
How can you say something so cruel to someone that you gave birth to? Of course I'm your daughter. Why else do you think that I have been sending you money every month for the past 9 years? I've been working hard to support you ever since Dad died. At least, that's what I've always told myself.
Oh, please. Again with the money. Honestly, how long are you going to try and hold this over my head? Do you really think that a measly $2,000 a month is even that much?
Are you kidding me right now? Are you really complaining about how much I sent to you?
How much you sent me? More like how little. Do you know how quickly you can burn through $2,000 just on essentials alone? It barely even lasts me the week.
What are you spending $2,000 a week on? What could you possibly be buying that is that expensive?
I already told you. Pretty people like your sister and I live in a completely different world from ugly people like you. We need to spend money on things that you haven't even heard of just to keep up our appearances. And maybe if you would listen to what I am trying to tell you, then you would understand that $2,000 a month is hardly anything to be proud of. Besides, no matter how much you send me,
It doesn't change the fact that Maeve married a doctor whose parents both made their fortunes on the stock market. Whenever Maeve and her man come to visit me, they always bring me lots and lots of money. More than you could ever afford. I see. Do they really now? That's right. And her husband even said that he would promise to support me financially for the rest of my life. I didn't even ask him to. He just said that to me. So it's not just Maeve, but even her husband knows how to show his love and respect for his elders. Well, I guess you and Maeve really do have more in common with each other than with me, don't you? That's right. We're both perfect. And now that she has found such a rich man to settle down with, I will be set for life. I don't need you anymore. You've outlived your usefulness to me. Is that really how you feel about me, Mom? How can you say such things? I don't know what I did to deserve this. What are you talking about? Of course I am sure. And how dare you doubt me? I don't need an ugly daughter like you in my life anymore. I don't need you coming around here or sneaking around my home anymore. You remind me too much of your father, and I just don't have to deal with you in my life anymore. All you do is bring ugliness into my home and make me upset. The fact that I even have to call you my daughter makes me ashamed. Mom, please. Don't you think you are taking all of this just a little too far now? Listen to what you're saying. Taking it too far? Oh no. I am just getting started. I've barely even said how I really feel. Let me tell you a story. Recently, a new person moved into a house down the street from me. They were asking about you since you were coming over once every couple of weeks, and I told them that you were just the maid that I hired to clean my house every now and then. What? Mom! How could you say something like that? That's horrible! You didn't even tell your neighbor that I'm your daughter? Please. Do you really think I would tell anyone that didn't need to know that someone as ugly as you is actually my daughter? I only brag about Maeve being my daughter, but you… Well, what my friends and neighbors don't know won't hurt them. I get it, Mom. You were always told how pretty you were ever since you were little. And ever since I was little, I always wanted to be on your good side. I always worked so hard so that you would notice me. Erin, just looking at your face makes me sick. It always has. Every time I had to look at that hideous mug, it seriously made me wonder how I could have given birth to a daughter like you. If it wasn't me who had to carry you, I would have doubted that you were my daughter in the first place. So then, you've always felt this way about me? You've always hated me this much? I don't know what to say anymore. Well, it is about time that you finally realized it, to be honest. Honestly, I knew you were ugly, but now I guess we can add stupid and slow to your list of traits, huh? I only have one daughter, and her name is Maeve. I don't need or want you anymore, Erin. Well, fine then. If that is really how you feel, then that's just fine, Mom. I get it. What do you get? Don't pretend like you understand anything about me. What? Are you going to cut me off or something? Stop talking to me entirely. Go ahead. I have been waiting for the day when you would finally just cut yourself out of my life. I have worked so hard for you for so long. And the whole time I told myself that I was doing it for my family. For my mother. Ugh. Why do you always have to be so depressing, huh? Besides, this isn't even about you. And I already explained that I don't need you or your help anymore. Okay, fine. I get it. Well, good. Now leave me alone. Hey, Erin. What is the matter with you? How come you still haven't sent me this month's payment? I just went to the ATM and it says the money still hasn't been deposited. Huh? Don't play stupid with me, young lady. I am talking about the money you owe me for this month. That is the bare minimum that you can do for me, so get on it. You're already late sending it.
But don't make me wait any longer. Send me that money right now.
Why should I have to send you money?
Why? Just who do you think you are? It is your duty to send me money. You have to.
Duty? How do you figure that? I really don't see it that way.
What has gotten into you? What are you talking about?
I am saying that I will not be sending you any more money.
What? I don't understand. Did you lose your job or something?
No, I still have my new job. I told you I got promoted. It is just that you said $2,000 a month was hardly anything for you. Even though I budget really carefully to be able to send you that much. Even though I have worked for almost a decade to try and provide for you. You told me that you didn't need the money anymore. In fact, you said it barely even helped you afford your essentials anyways.
Well, what? Did I say something like that?
And thank goodness that you asked me to stop. Do you know what it is like to suddenly have $2,000 a month that you never used to have before? Wait, actually, I guess you would know exactly what that is like.
Wait a second. Just hold on now. I never said that I don't need that money. Where did you get that idea from?
What do you mean? I don't know how else I could possibly read the messages that you were sending me. Are you saying that you didn't mean what you said?
No. Of course I meant what I said. $2,000 is nothing to me. But I will still take the money. I mean, after all, sending it to me is really the least that you can do.
But I don't really see why I should send money to someone that I have nothing to do with. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Someone you have nothing to do with? What are you talking about? What is that supposed to mean? I am your mother.
What? But I thought you said that you don't even think of me as your daughter. Don't you remember? You told me that you hated looking at my face and didn't want me in your life anymore.
Well, yes, that's right. I don't want to deal with you ever again, but I will take your money. After all, it isn't like they print your face on the bills or anything like that.
But you told me that you didn't need my money anymore since Maeve's rich doctor husband said that he was going to provide for you for as long as you lived. Remember?
Right. Well, the thing about that is that he forgot to bring me my money the last time that he and Maeve came over, so…
Oh, what? Did he really? I guess you better ask him to bring you double next time he comes around, huh?
I don't know. I was talking to Maeve about what happened, and she said that they got into some kind of fight and that she didn't think he would be bringing me anything for a little bit. So I just have to wait for them to make up. And then it is all going to start rolling in. Until then, though, you need to keep up your payments to me and quit slacking.
Oh no. Are they having some marital issues? I certainly hope that it isn't anything too serious for them. It would just be awful if they didn't make up.
That's right. Now hurry up and pay me what you owe me. I haven't got all day, Aaron.
Nah. I'm fine, thanks. I don't think I would send you a single penny even if you begged for it. I guess you'll just have to hope things go well for Maeve and her husband.
Stubborn girl. Just like your father. Fine. Then could you at least come by the house, please? I have some things here for you.
You want me to come by the house? And just why do you think that I would want to do that?
Well, your sister's visit turned into a bit of an extended stay. All she does is eat and sleep and leaves her garbage all over the place. Do you think you could at least come over and clean up the house like you used to? It could really use it.
Are you kidding me right now? No, really, is this supposed to be some kind of joke? Why would I do something like that? Why would I go to some stranger's house and do their cleaning for them? What do you think I am? Some kind of maid or something like that?
But I was just… well, you just used to is all.
By the way, if you want my perspective, I don't think that Maeve is going to be moving out from your place anytime soon.
What? Well, what makes you say that?
Because Maeve cheated on her husband and he threw her out of the house. Why do you think she has been there for so long?
What do you mean? How do you know that?
Of course, I also assume that he is going to divorce her and claim some fat alimony when it is all over.
You don't know what you're talking about. What makes you so confident about all of this? Maeve hasn't said anything of the sort, so why should I trust you?
Well, if she told the truth about what had really happened, then you would have never let her come over to stay in the first place, right? Don't you see? Maeve doesn't have anywhere else she can go right now. You were so focused on getting money from her husband that you didn't even stop to try and understand the wider picture. I mean, did you even wonder why she was going to be staying with you for so long in the first place?
No, this can't be. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm telling the truth. Maeve cheated on her husband, and now the two of them are about to get divorced. Her husband came to me to talk about it in the first place. He even showed me proof that he had, which showed that Maeve really was cheating. It's all true.
So, she really did cheat on her husband?
That's right. But it doesn't stop there. She didn't just cheat on him. Apparently, she also racked up quite a debt on gambling. She was taking out her husband's money in secret and using it to play online poker while he was away at work. I imagine that he was probably going to be demanding that money back in the divorce as well.
But he can't do that. They're married. What is his should be hers. Honestly, to divorce over something as simple as that. It sounds like her husband is just cheap and didn't want to help support his wife's family anymore.
It wasn't just the money that he put into their joint account. Maeve was taking directly from his savings. The savings that he had been building up since before the two of them were married. She stole his credit card and copied down all the information so that she could use it without his permission.
I don't believe this. So then that means that neither of them are going to be giving me any money anymore?
That's right. In fact, Maeve is going to owe her soon-to-be ex-husband a ton, it seems. But at least you two have each other for support, right?
This isn't a joke. This is serious. This can't be happening. I don't need Maeve living here with me with that kind of debt on her shoulders. A girl like that is no daughter of mine.
Aw, but I thought she was your perfect daughter. I thought that you could see so much of yourself in her. Isn't that what you said?
No, you misunderstood. I said that I had no other daughter but you. Of course, I always thought of you as my daughter, Erin. So please, just send me the money like you used to. And if you would be so kind as to make it a little more this time.
Well, you may be ready and willing to take me back as your daughter, but I have no intention of taking you back as my mother.
What are you saying? I'm your mother. Surely we can put any disagreements we've had behind us and make up. Right? How about I go to your house and we talk this out in person?
My house? And just what do you mean by that?
I mean, I'll go wherever you're living right now. Maybe the two of us could even move in together. That way I wouldn't have to pay any rent.
And just why would I want to let you move into my house?
Well, ever since Maeve came back, she hardly even leaves her room. She spends all day inside doing nothing but eating my food. Maybe this way I can just sell the house and we can live together.
It really is all about the money for you, isn't it? Well, I refuse.
But why? I don't get it.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to. Besides, I don't even live in the country anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Where are you right now?
I tried telling you about my new position, but you wouldn't let me give you all the details. I wanted to mention to you how I would have the opportunity to apply to overseas positions within my company. I was actually thinking of applying for one of them, but wanted to message you first since I was worried about how you would get along without me. But then you just kept pushing and finally started saying things like how you didn't even want me around. You said that we weren't even family anymore. And I took what you said to heart.
So then, you're already living in some foreign country?
That's right. And I am much happier here than I ever was living near to you.
Well, where are you living? It must be lonely for you to have gone somewhere new all by yourself. I'll go to you and help you out. You don't have to go through this alone.
I don't really feel like telling you where I've gone to, actually. And I have no problem living on my own. You should know that about me by now. And I certainly don't want you here with me. I already know that you wouldn't bother doing any of the housework. Besides, you don't even speak the language. You would just expect me to buy and do everything for you while you leeched off me like the parasite that you are. So no, I will not be sending you any more money ever. And I certainly have no intention of ever letting you live with me. This is the happiest I have ever been in my whole life. Well then, what about me? Am I just supposed to keep living with Maeve even though she is going to have all this debt? I don't really care what you choose to do with her. That is your business, not mine. We're not family anymore, remember? So why should I care? Erin! How can you be so cruel to your own mother like this? My who? Sorry, what did you just say? You're no mother of mine. Please, enough games. Just help us. You're the only one that I can turn to now. At least start sending me money again. That is the least that you could do. What are you talking about? Don't you have Social Security or something? I do, but I spend all of it every month. Oh wow, that sounds really rough. I guess maybe that is where Maeve got all her bad saving habits from. Anyways, at least the two of you have that in common. Please, Erin, you can't just leave us like this. You have got to help us. Actually, I really don't. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Please, I apologize for everything. I swear it. Everything I've ever said up to now, I'm sorry. It is far, far, far too late for you to try and apologize to me now. No, it isn't too late. Don't say that. We can make up. All right, you don't seem to get it. I'll be leaving now. Erin, wait. Please come back. I'm so sorry. You're all I have left in this life. You can't just abandon your mother. Help me. Maeve continued to hole herself up in Mom's house. She refused to even look for a job and just ate and slept all day. In order to get by, Mom had to start working again and found several part-time jobs that keep her busy from day to night. Unfortunately for her, however, most of what she makes goes into paying off Maeve's debts. She usually barely has enough money to afford groceries after she makes those payments. As for Maeve, her new lazy lifestyle resulted in some huge weight gains, and she hardly resembles the person that she used to be. On the other hand, Mom was working so hard that she started losing lots of weight and looks more like a fragile old woman than she ever did before. One day, Mom sent me a photo of the two of them begging for help. It was then that I realized that I forgot to block her number. A problem I soon remedied. I never bothered mentioning this to my family, but the reason I took the overseas transfer was because my fiancé at the time was working at the same office. I didn't even learn this until recently, but both his parents are wealthy investors with huge assets. I know for a fact that if my mom knew about that, she would be even more determined to try and find a way to weasel her way back into my good graces. Thankfully, I haven't heard a word from her ever since I blocked her. Now I live a happy life with my new husband far away from my troubled past. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.